work. I guess I'm supposed to read 2 poems, so let me read those 2 poems and be out. So like I said, I'm a poet, and I include a lot of Spanish, a lot of English, and a lot of Spanish in my poetry. So this first poem that I'm going to read is called Chicanismo. Chicanismo is basically the philosophy that I have, the philosophy of self-determination. And I wrote this poem like in 1998, and to this day I still fulfill this mission. So Chicanismo. Chicanismo is a political state of mind, not a nationality. Chicanismo es fuerza, is strength to fight oppression, racismo, and discrimination. Chicanismo es respeto, respect for your elders and your ancient tradiciones. Chicanismo es sabiduría, knowledge about self and culture, la cultura, cura. Chicanismo es lucha, a struggle for rights, educación, and a better futuro. Chicanismo es poder, power to unite, la unión hace la fuerza. Chicanismo es amor, love for la raza de bronce. How can you love and embrace others when you do not love yourself? Chicanismo es acción, action to mobilize your people against injustices. Chicanismo es liberación, liberation of the mind, body, and soul. Nadie te dará las cosas gratis, you have to earn them. And if you make it to the top, don't forget about the barrios, the campos, la comunidad, and the next generations. Remember, nadie servirá mejor a tu gente que tú mismo. Nobody will take care of your people better than you. Edúcate, pelea y ayuda a tu gente. Chicanismo es a political state of mind, not a nationality. Chicanismo es fuerza. Chicanismo es respeto. Chicanismo es sabiduría. Chicanismo es lucha. Chicanismo es poder. Chicanismo es amor. Chicanismo es acción. Chicanismo es liberación. Chicanismo es a political state of mind, not a nationality. So my students were making fun of me that I always use keeping it real. And that word, that phrase, keeping it real. But I think that keeping it real, saying that it makes me who I am. It keeps me on task. It keeps me on point. And always thinking of the mission that I need to feel, the responsibility that I have as an artist, as a poet, as an educator, as a human being, to offer a little piece of my heart to anyone that I come in contact with. The next poem I'm going to read, and the last one, is called La Marcha. And I wrote this poem in 2002 to commemorate the UFW march from Merced to Sacramento. And I have a little quote from the UFW that says, Summer Fall 2012. The UFW organizes massive public support, including a march publicized a 150-mile march from Merced to Sacramento, to convince then Governor Gray Davis to send the UFW sponsored binding mediation bill. The first time the Agricultural Labor Relations Act has been amended since its passage in 1975. So that was a historical march in 2002. And even today, the UFW is trying to pass a law that will bring water and bathrooms to the fields. And that law was passed supposedly on paper a long time ago, but it has never been honored. Around the Sacramento area in the San Joaquin Valley, I believe it was like 2 years ago, a man died of exhaustion. Another woman in Isabel, she died and she was pregnant. And because they didn't have access to water, access to shade. So I wrote this poem. This poem is interactive, so I invite you to participate in my poem. So it starts like this. Caminamos siguiendo al águila de Huitzilopochtli sentas as a sign. A black Aztec eagle that races to the sky, al cielo, donde hay esperanzas y sueños de libertad. ¿Qué queremos? Justicia. ¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
¿Qué queremos?
Justicia.
¿Cuándo?
Ahora.
Campesinos on the move coming up north, migrating back to reclaim their land. Esta es tu tierra, tienes derechos. Los rancheros son chuecos, pero la marcha los va a enderezar. Que sí, que no, que como chingados no. 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 No les dé vergüenza sus malas palabras. Groserías, dice mi mamá. Pero mi mamá dice groserías cuando voy de compras. Esos de compras, no groserías. Gritos y cantos fill the air, se ve, se siente, los campesinos están presentes. Todos son tlatoanis hablando, cantando, gritando con dignidad. La unión hace la fuerza. Cuando lleguen a sacras gabas, sordo ears will open y oirán. Generaciones vieja y nueva, mano a mano, paso a paso, cambiando rumbos de malos a buenos y soñando un futuro mejor. Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede. Ya con esta me despido, pero no me olvido de mi gente en la labor que con pasos muy unidos marcharon con la unión. De Merced a Sacramento y no miento, no, 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 Señor. Sé que venceremos, sé que ganaremos porque el pueblo
Unido
jamás será vencido. El pueblo
Unido
jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Juntos nunca nos vencerán. Adiós, gracias.
Eso.
And I think we are also very blessed to be able to have from our northern part of the state also Paul Flores. And I'd like to just tell you a little bit about him. He's a poet, a playwright, an author, and a performer. And he was born on the border in Chula Vista, but right on the border between Mexico and California, and then he's been actually traveling and performing all over the world, particularly in Central and South America, Cuba, around with some of the plays and performances that he's created. He's written amazing one-man shows for the plays, Representa, Placas, and some other great ones that you're going to be sharing with us and telling us about. He's been on HBO and changed the world with over 6 million people listening to some of the poems that you're going to get to hear also tonight. And then one of the more exciting things that I think that he has the power to do is to inspire you with the heart that he has to be able to think of the process of being able to create.
Please tag my Facebook so I see the photos you're putting up. It's always nice, to see what representation is made of the work that I do. And I don't like having to search through the internet for it. So Facebook, Paul S. Flores, the fan page, you can all check it out. But I do appreciate seeing the photos go up. Thank you. I'm not like some poets who will say, you pay me to take my photos. There are those out there. But I'm not like that. So I'm glad we're all having a good time. I'm going to start with this poem called Spanglish that I start with almost every show that I do. Walking with his 5-year-old son to the boy's mother's house. Sapo's old lady lived in enemy territory, but Sapo thought no one would mess with him, out of respect for people's family. It was daytime, after school. One of the birds walked right up to Sapo and shot him in the face, right in front of his son. And he turned and ran away, left the little boy in shock with his dad's blood on his face. And right over there, one of my enemies died one night while he was talking on a payphone. Parió verga. He was probably talking to his ruca, pero we drove by one night, saw him standing there, con otro chavalo, turned the car around, stopped, got out, bang, parió verga. We got back in and drove off. Ese vato wasn't the one who shot Sapo, porque a ese hijo de puta lo arrestaron and he's in jail now, pero el otro, parió verga. That night we celebrated Sapo like it was his birthday. We went to Largo's garage and did some coke, smoked weed, drank hella 40s, listened to some music, got really, really wasted. And then Largo, he gave me this tattoo on my shoulder. Big old frog with a devil's face and devil horns, R.I.P. and Sapo. I was 24 and Claudia was pregnant. About a month later, I was coming out of my house. Claudia had gone to the hospital. I thought she was in labor, but I was stoned and she just had gas. Anyway, I had to go pick her up. I had to go pick up her car because it had the car seat for the baby. And about a block from the car, somebody shouted, "Where are you from?" I started running. Felt like I was in a dream because I was trying to run as fast as I could, but my feet dragged like they were in cement. All I could hear was how loud my breathing was. Next thing I know, I was looking up at Largo and he was yelling, "Abre los ojos, hijo de puta! Abre los ojos!" Both my legs were burning and my pants were all wet. I thought I pissed myself. I tried to move, but it hurt to lift my arms. I was shot in the collarbone, in both legs, and in the side too. Fuck it, I thought, esos putos me cagaron. Let everyone know I died for the hood. Pero Largo had called the ambulance, so they took me to the hospital. As soon as I could walk, the cops arrested me and accused me of killing the chavala at the payphone. They took me to county jail, ran my records, and found out I was undocumented. So they deported my ass back to El Salvador. I missed my son's birth, but I tattooed his name on my neck. Claudia brought him in to visit. Well, he was barely a baby, but I didn't see him again until 3 years later when I came back to San Francisco. Then I got arrested again, spent 9 years locked up, but that's another story. A lot of times I come back to this corner just to remember the day I was shot. It's like I'm looking at my own grave. You know? I should have died, but I didn't. That's why I came back, why I crossed the desert, why I spent many years fighting my second deportation case. So I could be a father to my son. And I don't know, are you going to read that part? You read that piece?
Yeah.
Good. So we wrote about traditions that are positive and those that we question, like why? Why are we doing these things over and over again? So this is Michelle. Go for it.
So much planning and money went into the celebration. Many friends and family traveled to Mexico to join my grandmother celebrate her 80th birthday. That summer I traveled to many places I would have never dreamed of going to. All expenses paid plus extra cash. I told my parents I have a surprise for them. I boarded the plane in Seattle, arriving to Colima a day before the big celebration. I noticed my brother brought his novia and my cousin her boyfriend. My mom asked, "So what's the surprise? Do you have a boyfriend, un novio?" "It's been a while." "No, I'm going to Europe in October." "That is awesome, but I thought you finally had a boyfriend, un novio, mija." The next day, I noticed all my cousins con el novio, con la novia, some with kids arriving late. Makes me think of my friends back home who have boyfriends, some married, and others who are single mothers. I say hi to all my aunts and uncles. They ask, "¿Dónde está tu novio? ¿Por qué no lo trajiste?" I answer, "I don't have one." They say, "¿Por qué no? What's wrong with you?" They make me feel I don't belong, like if something's wrong with me that I can't get a boyfriend. Sometimes I joke and tell my mom I'm going to be a nanny.
You want the picture watch first or which one?
You figure it out. Which one feels better? Are you going to do the tradition one first?
No, I was going to do that.
Or are you doing a different one? All right, we'll do the alcohol one.
But I was just Alright. Pick up a bottle. Sometimes you wish it was water. Inside, hit the bottom. It's a dollar sign, can't have it smacked. It teases you when you have issues. Works your stomach when it misses you. Craving the flavor only to forget it later. When you fall asleep to your body heat, lean on me, to you it speaks. Had a bad day, want to take a peek? Temptation runs high when you're running low. Take one more sip, quench your thirst. Next time, think twice about it first. Before you waste your time from your only life, lose the motto somewhere it's life. Just one more turns into maybe 4 more. Twist another cap, hits you to the core. Toss the bottle, stay strong and fight it. Risk runs through your veins, you can do it despite it. It's easier said than done, yes. Kick the habit before you make a mess of this life and the trust you've built. Stop before you get yourself killed. Rid yourself of this life's negative view. Don't you dare hurt the people that love you over something that blurs the truth. It's temporary, reality feels good and smooth, so the bottle smacks you back to reality. Kick the bottle before you waste your life. Kick the bottle before you become faded. Kick the bottle before you become someone else. Kick the bottle before you lose yourself.
College. My dad was in the military, so I moved around a lot. He was in the Air Force. The song that I'm going to perform is called Hold Me Close to You. I wrote it about this guy that I met. We started dating, but it turns out that he still had feelings for his ex, and he was still seeing her. So I'm going to just do the acapella version.
The what?
The acapella version.
Oh, okay.
When I look into your eyes, I could see her on your mind. When I listen to your heartbeat, I could feel the pain inside. Hold me close to you as the time passes by. Hold me close to you as your pain turns into pride. Hold me close to you, baby, don't ever let me go. Hold me close to you, baby, and feel me in your soul. Hold me close to you, baby, don't ever let me go. Hold me close to you, baby, and feel me in your soul. Oh, I could feel your energy as you're walking past me. And I know it's not the same, but we need a change in the scenery. Exploring the dimension of your broken heart. Disgust leads back to my initial thought. And as it seems like everything's falling apart, every ending has a beginning, so where do we start? Hold me close to you, baby, don't ever let me go. Hold me close to you, baby, and feel me in your soul. Hold me close to you, baby, don't ever let me go. Hold me close to you, baby, and feel me in your soul. As I had started performing that song, I originally wrote it about a guy, but when I started performing it, it became about my music. And I felt like I was holding my music close to me and like feeling it in my soul. So the next piece that
Alright, so like, well, I have like these weird dreams, I guess, and this one came to me. It's a story about a family somewhat dysfunctional, and well, here it is. Born into a life of misery, drunk father, mother is abused. Both work when they're home, the rest of the night gets consumed. No friends, no person to run to. The kids at school call him names. It has a noticeable fate, punched in the face, ruthless, yet no one knows his pain. He asks God why he's suffering. We're human souls just living to die. Would I be permitted to heaven if I commit suicide? Step out of it, Timothy. Wake the fuck up. Remember those dark days when mother had you staying up? When she said she wanted to be home. She wanted to be alone. And all I could do was stare at the walls and step outside in his zone. She was out there getting paid while your father was raving drunk. She had 2 jobs and 1 more that sucked. Prostitution is never enough. Timothy never knew her occupations or her life sins. All he knew was that mother would do anything in order for her kids to live. Eyes bleed hurt, and his wrists bleed pain. His lungs spit fumes. Is he the one to blame? Traveling across the galaxy, what is my life supposed to bring? Agonizing pain, no more peace and harmony. Living to die, but I'm just dying to live. A couple months pass and Timothy feels ready to die. Tired of his life, already 2 times contemplated suicide. Mother fled, and father's still fucking up. Why didn't mother take me with her when she left us? Is this all a dream? Is this all there is to see? Once I suffocated myself, will the rope let me breathe? Still a mystery how Timothy has not died. 17 years old, blood drips in his eyes when he cries. He grabs a gun full of rage. He wants to end it all. Father walks through the door. Bang, shot in the leg, he falls. Starting some mercy so he can live in misery. So he can live in infamy, so he can show the death that was given to me. Pissed at the roll, Timothy leaves his home. Sirens in the distance, he's ready to go. 1 last bullet to shoot and 1 last life to end. Walks the open path and says peace to his friends. Misty eye, it's foggy outside, darkness reigns. Heaven never existed, but hell's shirt is showing pain. The thoughts race faster and faster, but he don't seem to stop. Pulls the trigger once and his body drops.
Good evening, everybody. Jose Garcia with Professor DeVry's English class. English class, make some noise. So, I mean, I've been involved in the music scene for quite some time, and I was actually sharing with a classmate Pedro that here at Cafe Alnez, you guys used to have, or you guys still do, freestyle open mics, and back in like the early 2000s, and I remember just posting up right there in the sidewalk back in when J-Pro was, you know, tearing up the sidewalk, and yeah, and just it's an environment that, you know, it sparked a fuel in my soul, because now music will forever be a part of me, and this is one of the rhymes that I wrote, you know, early on in my penmanship career, if you will. So what I'm going to try to do differently is not going to try to do, I'm going to do it, is actually convert it into the style of the poetry, how I've experienced it now, because I've never broken down my flow into a form of like poetry, how we've heard it here today. So let it begin. I am here to win. Taking what's yours is not a sin. I'm living my life to the fullest, but I do not know when it's gonna end. So comprehend the thoughts that are going through your mind. Making a wrong move in this world might end your life. No need to lie. Why? What I recite is what I see through my inside. A rhyme at a time, I'm feeling a natural high. So I continue to do what I do. I have the gift and knowledge, so this goal I will pursue. It all began for the fun, ended up for the love. I'm not gonna stop even if I don't come up. It runs through my blood, what is kept in my soul. But one thing for sure, to death do it puzzle. That's my alias. I consider myself the best, so my skills can progress. While I achieve, oh yes, with the quickness, nonetheless, compete with the rest. I'm in it for the long run, so go ahead and test. P-U-Z-L-E, what does it mean? To some it'll remain a mystery, as simple as it seems to see. What goes on behind the name that identifies me? Will that continue to be a mystery? See.
Yeah, that's nice out of here from your own community. I think it's really good. I know, I think Chico had a road trip, right? So Chico stepped out, so let's give it up for Chico Gonzalez. All right, I'm gonna start rapping. Here we go. No, I'm just kidding. Tomorrow, talk about hip hop. Tomorrow we have a big show. It's a tour. Brought to you by Sterling Stone Entertainment. There's 5 rap artists. 4 of them are local, and 1 of them is coming in from Los Angeles. So it's a big show. It's, as Armando mentioned, it's one of our first times that we're going to come back and really open up the doors to the community to have spoken word, to have hip hop shows. Because one of the things is being afraid, right? Being afraid, like, you know, sometimes when the authorities or the state or the power brokers or whatever, they see a bunch of people gathered up and they're afraid. And it's almost like, even like how they design the placitas in Mexico, you know, the placitas have, you know, chairs, everybody looks at each other and talks. Right here, it's kind of like a bench here, a bench way over there. That's done intentionally. It's called, one of our friends wrote about it, called Barrio Urbanism, on how to gentrify and flush people out so you're not meeting and talking and singing and sometimes getting along, sometimes not getting along, but at least we're building community. And so that's what humanity is about. So tomorrow, it's donations, come, we're gonna have the hip hop show. But talk about family. This place, we really try to open up the doors and say, we love you, right? The Keys Academy, the youth leaders that are here, now are like youth leaders in their campus, on some of the student organizations like Mecha and beyond. And we always say, you walk in through that door and you have an addiction, whatever it is, we're gonna love you. You're gonna fall, right, and falter and end up back in jail. But when you get out, we're gonna be here for you. That is what we try to do. It's called unconditional love, and it's called community, and it's called family. And to that end, we want to say a few words to one of our friends who recently has been organizing with us. She's a student organizer, and it's her birthday. So we want to sing to you, Jacinta, and let's bring her up.
So, listos en español, ¿quién sabe la canción completa? Right, come on up, sister. Ready? Estas son las mañanitas que cantaba el rey David. Hoy por ser día de tu santo te las cantamos a ti. Despierta, vivir, despierta. La luna ya se metió. Speak!
I told him not to do that. Thank you very much. And it's true what he said. The moment you walk into those doors, you are loved. Just by chance, someone invited me to a meeting and I showed up. And it was the best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made. I've made such